Let's bring in our first guest of the day, Joanie Finch. Joanie!
Hi, Chuck.
Hello, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Now, Joanie, you do the topiaries.
Yes.
How long have you been doing topiary?
About 30 years.
When I was a kid, the only place I saw topiary really was Disneyland.
Right, they do a wonderful job.
And every time I'd see it, I'd go, wow, I kind of want to have one of those. And my parents would say, oh, Chuck, it's a lot of work to keep a topiary looking good. Is that true?
Well, it's a little bit of work, but for those of us that like to prune, it's just pleasure.
Is it sort of like the little trees? What are the trees?
Tree. Bonsai?
Those. The bonsai. It's a little bit like that?
A little bit, but they have really tiny root systems, and we can put them in the ground, and they grow just like a regular plant.
Now, how did you get into it?
It was my father's hobby. He actually saw a newspaper article in the 30s about topiary, and he was a nurseryman, and he totally fell in love with it.
Here in the valley?
Yes.
Where at?
Well, he saw the article in the Fresno Bee, and it was in the Bay Area. I never have been able to find the nursery, but it began a lifelong hobby for him.
Wow. And he had a nursery here in Fresno?
He had several nurseries in central Fresno, and then one on Herndon and Furs.
What were they called?
Andy's Nursery.
Really?
Yeah.
And so you grew up in the nursery?
I did, and we had topiaries around the yard. We had a little chair by the front door, and he'd carve faces into the bushes, and we just...
Did that make you popular around the neighborhood?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I would think it would. Little kids are just drawn to these, aren't they?
They are. It's so much fun when
It's
kids
magical.
come into the nursery. Yeah, they guess, that's a duck, that's a swan, that's a bear, and we have lots of little animals, so it's just really fun.
Where's your nursery at?
It's in Friant, and it's about 10 minutes past Woodward Park, right on Friant Road as you come into the town of Friant.
How big is it?
It's less than an acre. It's a small nursery, and it's family run, and we just have lots of unusual things.
Now, how many different items do you think you have there?
Well, we have a brochure that has 95 frames because we make our own frames, and then we make custom frames all the time.
So you sell the frames,
right?
Mostly. I mean, you probably sell a couple of them with the plant already in it, but it's the frame that you sell mostly?
We do sell a lot of frames, and we sell them online because that makes it easier to grow a plant into a shape that it doesn't normally grow into.
What types of plants grow into a topiary?
A lot of Mediterranean kind of plants like boxwood, olive tree, myrtle, things that we grow here.
Rosemary?
And then rosemary's wonderful, and that's good and drought tolerant. And then I have lots of varieties of ivies, which have to be grown in the shade, but they're just beautiful.
How difficult is it for someone to purchase the topiary? Do you call it a frame? What do you call it?
We call it a topiary. That's what it is. It's just a shrub that's been shaped into a shape that it doesn't naturally grow into.
What's the form? What is that?
Well, we just call it a topiary frame.
Okay.
And let's say we take a duck, which is a real simple shape, and you just put it over the plant, and then you tie it down, and then you trim it as it grows.
Do you teach people how to do it
I
there?
do. I give classes.
And how long is a class on this? How long does it take to learn how to do this?
Not long. It's so
it looks like it's hard.
You need to come and take a class.
You have some pictures, Billy?
Yeah.
Maybe that will help me out.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, this one right here, if you can
So
look,
that's
Joanie.
a hummingbird.
Hummingbird.
It's only about 30 inches, and I took a euonymus, which is kind of vine-like, wrapped it around the frame, and then you just trim it as it grows outside the frame.
And it fills the inside as it goes? Pretty neat, right?
That's a goat we made for somebody back east.
Oh, wow.
And so they will grow that one up the center because it's kind of a carousel growth.
You should get a sheep one for Fresno State.
We've made sheep. Yeah, we could. That's a train grown in juniper, which is a really common plant in Fresno.
How big is that?
That one's about 30 inches, 36 inches, maybe about 2 feet high.
There's no limit to what you could do.
There is no limit.
I mean,
just
you
your
can
imagination.
grow as big as you can imagine. You could grow one.
As long as the plant grows. There's some
Whoa!
gorillas.
What is that?
Gorillas, and those are in the San Diego Zoo. So we made the frames for them, and they planted them.
That's so cool.
Wow!
Yeah,
That's amazing. How long did it take for that to grow in?
That one we cheated on, actually. They planted it with sphagnum moss and soil and put hundreds of little ivies so they could get it right away.
So they filled it.
They filled it with soil, yes.
That's kind of
So
cool.
that's, then it's portable.
Do people ever grow fruit or vegetables?
Sometimes, but then those die back in the winter, and so then you lose it in the winter. So we try to use evergreens and things with small leaves. So that
Speaking of evergreens, do people grow the Christmas trees?
Sometimes we have cones that are made out of ivy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now, if people want to go up there, and right now I'm just thinking I have to take the kids up there. They're going to love this. What's the hours?
We're there Wednesday through Saturday. They're kind of limited, 9:30 to 3, but we can also come anytime that someone wants to come. And this Saturday we'll have an open house, so you can get cookies and coffee and walk around and have a good time.
Hey, no one likes to give a gift that they think that someone else might give that person.
And they're
this is a great gift,
they're
right?
Unique. That's right.
What do they run?
We have small things that run between 10 and 20 and 30,
Is that
little tabletops, little wreaths, and if you want a big horse or something, then it's into the hundreds. So it just depends on how big it is, how long it took us.
Oh my, look at this picture here.
Oh, the chess set, and we mossed those because they needed them quickly, and those are 6-7 feet tall.
Where are those at?
Those went to a clothing company that needed them for an event.
This one right here?
That's a myrtle, and that's in Sanger, I think, in somebody's garden.
How big is that?
That one's 3 feet tall. And they grew it themselves.
Pretty
and
amazing.
She pruned it with the scissors.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How many of these do you have at your house?
I have about 5.
What are they?
They're a piano, because I was a piano teacher, a bear, a deer, and I think I have a bunny, so a squirrel.
People come to you with custom orders, right?
They do. They want their dogs, and I've learned a lot about dogs. A lot of different dogs in this world. So we'll make the frame, they'll send us a picture, we'll custom make it, and then they'll grow it.
It's just amazing. Now, Finch Topiary, everybody knows we have to bring it up that your son's quite famous, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Is he around?
He's in Truckee. That's where he lives.
Will he be down for the holidays?
He will. He'll
Yeah?
be here the day after Christmas.
You got to bring him down. You got to bring him on the buzz. I want to talk to that guy.
Oh, he'd love it. He's much better than I am.
I tell you what, I brag about him.
Oh, do you?
Yes,
Well,
I do.
so do I.
I tell everybody, that's my Sean White right there. He brought a lot of good recognition to the Central Valley. Does he still ski?
He snowboards, yes.
Yeah. Do you snowboard?
No.
Do you
I
snow
tried.
ski?
I do snow ski, but they really give me a hard time about that.
How did he become so good at that?
You know, he's just a natural. My husband took him the first time they went together, and they were black and blue. But he fell in love with it at 12 years old.
On skis or on a
On
board?
snowboard.
Really?
Yes.
So he went straight to a snowboard?
Yeah, he did ski before that, but when he saw some kids snowboarding, he said, I've got to do that, Dad. So they did it together, and he just got really good fast.
As a mother, doesn't that just scare the hell out of you?
Oh, that's exactly what it does.
I mean, when you see him pull off some of that stuff, and watching it on television can't even be like being there.
No, I'm a nervous wreck. It's awful.
And he probably just laughs.
He does. It's
He
exactly what
thinks
he
it's
does.
fun to scare
He
his
does.
mother like that, doesn't he?
I pray a lot.
All right, Joanie Finch, you're having your open house this weekend.
Yep, 9:30 to 3.
9:30 to 3 on Saturday?
Yes, and it should be sunny by then, hopefully.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for coming
Chad.
by.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Joanie Finch, Finch Topiaries, 10 minutes past Woodward Park on Friant Road. Go see her, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.